Well, hello. Welcome everyone. It's Tuesday Tips live from Digital DJ Tips with me, Phil, here in the Digital DJ Tips Gibraltar studio. Welcome everyone. It's great to be here and I've got a great show for you today. In the next half hour or so, we're going to be taking a look at the Prime Go from Denon DJ. Is this really something you can use as a pro DJ system? Is it really, or is it just too small and too gimmicky? That's what we're going to be looking at. And the reason we're doing that is I've had a long time to play with this now. I've had this for several months. I've been using it in real live situations where it's got to perform, including at the weekend. I used it on a full hour-long live stream in a pretty extreme circumstance, outdoors when the light faded and it was very dark and I had to carry on DJing with it. And I want to report back to you, if you're thinking of getting this little controller, or you've just been curious about it, you watched it come onto the market and thought, could this be for me? Then that's what we're going to be talking about now. And I'm going to actually give you 5 points, 5 things that I think you need to know about this, because it's not cheap. I think it's about $1,000. I think it's $999 or something. It's not cheap. Is it worth it? Can you use it as a pro device? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. If you're totally new to this and you're wondering what the hell this is about, we're Digital DJ Tips. We're the people behind Rock the Dance Floor, the #1 selling book on how to DJ over on Amazon and in all good bookstores, as they say. We're also the people behind digitaldjtips.com and 25, count them, DJ courses that have helped 25,000 people to become great DJs and great DJ producers. But on a Thursday, a Tuesday, there are 2 shows that are free to air if you like. We just talk DJing and we help you out for free. And that's what we're doing now. This is one of those shows. If you're catching the replay, you know what to do. Go and click the subscribe so that you can become a notified member of this website, and that means that you will be told when we go live and you don't have to watch replays, but still ask questions underneath wherever you're watching this, YouTube, Twitch, either of our Facebook group or page. Wherever you're watching this or over on Mixcloud, please ask questions and we will try and get to you. If not live, then afterwards. Right, before we start talking about the Prime Go, which is our subject today, 5 things, 5 of them that you need to know about this if you're thinking about buying it. Is it really possible to DJ in a pro environment with a tiny little DJ system like this? Before we get talking about that, just want to, as usual, because this is a live show, get some of our early hellos in. So, hello people. We are with Dr. Funkist, as ever, our first person. You must sit there hovering over that button, Dr. Funkist. DJ Gracie Grace says, I love my Prime Go. Hello to Jason. Hello to Ronald. Well, you know what we've got there now, don't you, Ronald? Because I've just shown you. Hello to Jeff. Hello to lots of our locals. Lots of new names as well here today. So if you're new to this, thank you for being here. Hope you enjoy it. Hi to Benedict, who says, I'm glad to catch Tuesday Tips live instead of on the replay. Hello to our Facebook follower in Vegas. Hello to John, who's in lockdown Dublin. Lockdown's happening all over the place at the moment. So if this is you, well, look, let's try and look on the bright side. A bit more time to practice your DJ, maybe. The music reminds me of military specifications videos, says Ronald. So there we go. It is actually written by Joey, one of our contributors, one of our course makers. A lot of you will know Joey. So anyway, that's where the music comes from. Yeah, it has got that kind of smooth menace about it, hasn't it? Our incoming music. Hi to Tiffany, as ever, in Manchester, England. Hello to Nick, who says, I've interrupted browsing on Beatport to be here. So that's cool. Nick, another Nick is switching to Mixcloud. Hello to everyone who's over there on Mixcloud, watching this live, by the way. It's good to have you over there, Mixcloud people. I will try and I'm just getting you on my screen now so that I can say hello to some of you as we go through. There we go. I've got you on my little screen there, Mixcloud people. So hi to DJ Nick, who has indeed arrived over on Mixcloud, DJ LV2D, and to Daily over there on Mixcloud as well. Good to have all of you with us, wherever you're watching. It's 11 o'clock in Jakarta, but still here. So thank you to that person on Facebook. Okay, so we're talking about this little thing. This is the Prime Go. And the reason I'm talking about this now is, as I said at the beginning, I've had a lot of time to play with this now. You know, we reviewed it when it first came out and so on, but you don't really get a sense of how something is until you've actually played with it. So let me tell you my reason for spending a lot of time with this recently. So I am building, and a lot of you will have seen me talking about, a live streaming portable rig. So I've been carrying around everything you need to live stream, laptop, a small controller, the one I've been using, thank you to Newmark for this, has been the little Newmark Party Mix, because it's the only one that fits in a little bag that I can carry easily, along with all the other gear I need to live stream, like cameras, tripod, and all the other bits and pieces that you need to DJ and then to live stream that DJ. And I've really enjoyed it, but one thing I didn't like was, you know, this is a wonderful controller. It's a great thing to begin on. It's a great thing to play on, to practice on. It's a great second controller, but it's only got bass and treble controls. There's no mid control. It's very small and plasticky. It's very limited in what you can do in it, and it feels a little bit clicky and clunky, and it just doesn't feel. You don't forget you're using it when you're DJing with little controllers like this. You're always like being careful what you touch in case something goes wrong and so on. So I always felt that the compromise to have a live battery-powered setup. Some of you saw us DJing from the top of a mountain recently. You know, the compromise was you had to have your bag with all your gear in and a separate controller, or you had to take a tiny controller, and it just didn't feel right. So I've been experimenting, and basically, this bag here from UDG, this is a UDG Digi backpack. You'll have seen us reviewing this on the site recently. It fits this little controller I've got here. This actually fits perfectly this. So you can get that and everything else you need to live stream in that one bag. And the reason for that is you're not carrying around a laptop and stuff necessarily, and I'll talk to you about that later. But even with a laptop, it all fits in there, including this controller, this DJ system. So I thought, right, this could be the one. And indeed, it's looking very promising because it's all in that one bag. So I can literally carry that. It's very comfortable. I can carry that all day to somewhere awesome, get online and live stream. So that's why I've been playing with the Prime Go. You know, let me tell you a bit about this controller if you don't know anything about it or this system. It's got a built-in computer, which is why you've got the screen here. No need for a computer. It's battery powered, so you will see there's no leads plugged in the back here apart from the audio lead. I plug it in with a battery powered speaker as well. And that's all you need to DJ with. In the front here, I've got an SD card with all the music on. And the computer in here is Engine OS, and it's pretty powerful. It's the same that you get in the Prime 4, the Prime Go, the SC6000 Pro Gear. It's pretty much got everything apart from a sampler on it that you get on software for DJing like Serato and Traktor and so on. So it's not going to hold you back DJing on something like this. It's pretty cutting edge for that purpose. So that's why I was kind of excited about giving it a go. And as I say, I did it this weekend, a proper whole hour gig with it, and I've got some stuff to report back on. So that's what we're going to talk about. So my 5 things about this. Number 1, it sounds great. I didn't expect to be bowled away by how this sounded. So I had it plugged into our IK Multimedia iLoud speakers, which a lot of people love. By the way, look into the iLoud speakers. The one I used was the little portable single speaker, which is battery powered. So again, we've got a full battery going on there, and it sounded really, really nice. I was surprised at the quality of the sound. Now, I'm not one to go in for audio specs. It's got a perfectly good audio card in it. I don't know what it was that made me realize, but against using my laptop with a little controller like this, and maybe it's in that, you know, this is a baby controller. I just noticed a boost in sound quality that was really noticeable. So the sound quality I thought was fantastic, and actually people on the live stream said it sounds amazing, which is pretty cool. Now I was using an Evermix box. I've got one here. Let me show you the Evermix. This little device here to get the audio into the system. I'll just show you that on the overhead camera so you can see it a bit better. It's called an Evermix box, and basically you plug in one end, an output from your DJ system. The other end goes into a computer. So I was live streaming from a laptop this time. I've got a cunning plan to even leave the laptop out of our live streams, which I might tell you about at the end if I remember. If not, you'll definitely hear about it. So this is how I got the audio into the main system for live streaming, but it sounded really good. So number 1 of my 5 points about it is it sounds amazing. Don't worry about the audio quality from this. It's spot on. So number 2, we're going to continue with the good news. It's not all good news, but number 2 was that this thing feels pro. It's solid metal. The controls feel really, really nice. Everything slides nicely. It's got a reasonably loose crossfader. It just feels good to DJ on. And you end up forgetting that you're using a tiny little system. Now these jog wheels might, you know, upset some people by being so tiny. Actually, I found them to be no problem at all for everything I needed them for. The only issue with the jog wheels was when I was sometimes playing here, I accidentally touched the jog wheel. So if I had a track loaded on this deck here, like this, that's playing away, you know, I'd be pushing here and I'd accidentally touch the jog wheel and the track would stop. Mind you, I only did it once. After that, I was careful not to. So I think you have to be careful about moving your hands around, especially with the hot cues being up here. As far as the layout goes, it's got the low, mid and high horizontally at the top here. Let me just go to that view. Horizontally at the top here, which does feel a bit strange at first, but honestly, you get used to it really quickly. So it feels nice. It feels like a pro piece of gear to use. And again, I'm being a little bit unfair because obviously if I'm comparing it to something like this, which is a tenth of the price, of course this is going to feel better. But you know, I did miss playing on something that actually felt as good as any pro gear I've ever used. It feels as good as any pro gear I've ever used. If you want a small mobile phone, you know, traditionally you've had to go for a rubbish one, right? You want all the new features, you have to go for a bigger phone. And it's been the same with DJ gear, but this is a small piece of gear, smaller than even like something like this. The little mix tracks, you know, it's a lot smaller than that. Let's have a look at that overhead. See that? It's a little bit deeper maybe, but a lot smaller than even a mix track. So you are getting something that is portable and small, but not amateur, if you like, not entry level, pro, which obviously befits paying nearly $1,000 to buy one of these. But nonetheless, that was something that I was really appreciative of. Right, you're going to love this one. One thing I didn't like too much about this compared to the Prime 2 and the Prime 4, the Prime 2 has got a fixed screen that angles. The Prime 4 has got a screen that you can actually move to where you want. The other two systems that are a bit bigger than this in the range. This hasn't. Now I was DJing outdoors and I felt myself, you know, going over here to look at the screen quite a lot. And I saw this on YouTube. Whoever it is who did it, you're a genius. I can't remember whose channel I saw it on. But basically, immediately I copied what this person had done and I bought one of these for about $10. And this is sold as a laptop stand. But actually this little thing can turn into an awesome DJ console stand. So you set it up like that and you just slide it underneath the unit. And then the unit goes on top of it. And what you end up with is, it looks like that, but you'll see it better if I show it you like that. The whole unit is now angled up and it's the perfect, and I mean the perfect position for DJing from. It's just genius. It now feels brilliant. And they should have put 2 feet at the back on this. They should have put 2 feet to raise it like that so that you could do that when you were DJing. They didn't, but help is at hand with these tiny little laptop stands, which I got one online on YouTube. I bought one of these, sorry, on Amazon. I don't know what they're called, but just search portable laptop stand. There's about a dozen people who make and sell these little things, so you'll find them. But that really was a game changer. Unfortunately, I discovered it after my live stream, not before it, but I will be using that from now on, definitely with this unit. And it packs away really small into this little bag, so it takes up no room. You can carry that easily with you. So it can be angled. That was my third point. Before we move on to points 4 and 5, as always, what do you think? Let's head back to the comment cam and have a chat with some of you about this. Ronald says it's nice to see computers inside controllers now, but how replaceable are the parts should they break? Denon DJ have always been very good with A, reliability, and B, fixing things. But yeah, it's a good point. If it's all in one unit, then if it breaks, it really does break. That's true. Loads of you are asking questions here which are not related to our subject today. That's cool, people, but just come back on Thursday at the same time and ask them and I'll help you with those there. Martin says, it was a great set at the weekend, Phil. Oh, you're very welcome. Had a lot of fun doing it. And so did Salvation, Drum and Bass, who says, I really enjoyed Balcony Beats last Sunday. So thank you for that. It's always nice to know that we're doing a good job. I think it's a brilliant controller, says Abby, for live streaming when you travel or hop places. Yeah, I mean, the fact that it fits in that bag is awesome. By the way, if you like the look of that bag, I've got a review of it on Digital DJ Tips. You can, whoops, that's not the one I wanted to show you. Where's the one I wanted to show you? No, that's not working for me. I will just tell you. Head over to Digital DJ Tips. There's a review of it over there. So the next comment from you guys and girls about this was, oh, another one about the Sunday live stream. It looked a bit warmer there than Sunday in the villa, says David. Oh, here you mean? Yeah, it was quite cold on Sunday, I have to say. We've been lighting fires all weekend. Beatrice saw the Prime Go on Sunday in the balcony beats as well. Wow, good to hear so many of you are tuning in. Hi Phil, the brightness of this device is superior than the Pioneer size for outdoor use. Yeah, so with this thing, with brightness, the way you do the brightness is you get into the settings here, hold down that view button, and it goes into here. And then in one of these menus, I forget which one, it's either this one or the other one. It seems a bit random which functions are in, whoops, not that one, which functions are in utility and which ones are in preferences. You get display brightness somewhere. I can't find it all of a sudden, but that's always the way when you're live trying to show someone something. So it must have been in the original one, must have been in utility. But down here you can set, here it is, screen. So you can set screen brightness for when it's plugged in and when it's on battery. So I could have that brightness a lot lower now, mid, high, and max. And the brightness of the screen is good. I could DJ in bright sunshine with it, no problem. But the brightness of these is hopeless. Any of this is hopeless. You're not going to see any of this. Now, luckily, they're not massively important. You can see happily on the screen where your cue points are, like that hot cue there. It says Q1 on the screen, so I can see that. And if you want to go to hot cues, you just press hot cue. So you don't actually need these to be lit up, but just as well, because you can't see them at all. So don't expect to be able to see the lighting on these in sunshine. It's just useless. But the screen's very bright indeed. So that's at least one of the two. The most important one works fine. The comment here from James is an interesting one. I've been using the Pioneer XDJ RX2 and I think the Denon Prime Go is better. It's certainly got better technology in it. It's certainly far more up to speed. Why isn't the mic sent to the headphones? I've got no idea. You can choose whether or not it goes to the booth output, but you're right, it doesn't go to the headphones. Mark managed to finally catch us here on a Tuesday. That's good. The next comment here, what do you think about the recording function? Is it possible to do a quick mix with the Prime Go? Right, so if you head over to mixcloud.com/Phil Morse, you can listen to Sunday's mix, and that's a full pristine audio version of it, and that's exactly what I did. I hit record on this thing. So again, let me show you how you do that. You hold down the view button there, you hit record there, and you just hit start. Now it's recording everything I do on this device here. Now, you press stop, save, you put a name in there, so I just call that test, done, and that's now saved to the SD card I've got plugged in here with my music on. So recording on this is really easy, but do bear in mind that you can't record your streaming services. We've got Beatport, BeatSource, SoundCloud, and Tidal going on here. You can't record these. As soon as you turn on those, it won't record. So if you want to record when you're using a streaming service, you're going to have to plug something externally into the back to record your set. Just bear that one in mind. Same with all DJ systems. It's just a licensing thing with those streaming services. A couple of users reported it freezes from time to time. Did you notice that? I didn't notice that. No, it worked absolutely fine for me. It's close to my Stanton SCS 4DJ. It is, but the 4DJ is like light years behind it with what it can do. It was ahead of its time for sure, the Stanton device, but it was definitely something that's been developed hugely since then. Beatrice, what are the big advantages and disadvantages compared to the Prime 2? Well, the disadvantages are it's smaller, fiddlier, hasn't got as many controls. The advantages are it's battery powered. You know, they're both very different things. And so for a general DJ controller, the Prime 2 is a lot better, or DJ device. If you seriously need something that size, you can't go wrong with this little one. More questions or points about this. DJ999, yes, I want to do a scenic outdoor stream at some point. I'm going to be doing a lot more of this next year, a lot more of taking this thing, or whatever I'm using at the time, out and doing some live streams from crazy places, which is why I'm getting this set up. So yes, indeed. So good thinking there. Roy says, nice UDG bag. Wink to you there, Roy. How are you, my friend? Greetings from Holland. Roy, of course I remember you, Roy, formerly at UDG, indeed. Neil says, the bag looks good. I just purchased a couple of Gate or LP bags for my gear. I'm impressed with the durability and quality, but I must say, I like the UDG bags. Can we have another look at that? Yep. Head over to digitaldjtips.com. I've done a full review and video of the bag over there. I'd like one for my mobile show, says George. These are really good as a second controller. If you're an event DJ and you need to do two venues at once, like maybe a small reception and a main venue in a wedding, you know, you can have this as your second device. How much does the Evermix retail for? That's the little box here. About 80, 90 UK pounds, I think. I'm really not too sure, but just head to their website. It's all on there. Poor placement of the hot cues. Well, depends. You know, the new Pioneer CDJ 3000s has got the hot cues in the same place. So it all depends on, you know, on you. Mike says, as someone who always streams outdoors here in New York City, the Prime Go has intrigued me. I use the DDJ 400 on a laptop, but an all-in-one is very interesting. Yep, I was using a small controller on a laptop. I prefer how professional that feels, Ronald. And also, I was using the same computer for live streaming and running my DJ software before, which I didn't like. I was switching between the two and I was always a bit worried. It worked fine, but this way the computer was just for live streaming and I loved that. I've yet to connect to public Wi-Fi with my Go. I've had to use my phone as a hotspot. I have to use my phone as a hotspot. It works absolutely fine. Ours is always connected to our Wi-Fi here. Mark says it looks solid. Weighs over £8 though. You need to take that into consideration of traveling on a plane, especially with all the cables and possibly the laptop in one bag. Indeed you do. Although, have you ever had your baggage weighed on the way onto a plane? I know they say 10 kilograms or 20 pounds or something, but I don't think I've ever had mine weighed. I just walk on with it on my back and pretend it feels light. What a cool hack, says Cleo, with the laptop stand. Yeah, that's a belter, isn't it? I do like that. Can you put up a link for the stand? I'm afraid I can't. I just got it off YouTube. I keep saying YouTube. Off Amazon. Just go to Amazon and search portable folding laptop stand. You'll find it. Cuts by Kai says best gear I've ever. Cuts by Cal says best gear I've ever owned. So there we go. Or you could roll up a jacket and place it under the controller. Indeed, I actually do that with my speakers. When I'm DJing a lot of the time, it's the monitor speakers, because we use quite small speakers when we're out and about. So I roll up a tea towel actually and shove it under the front to angle it towards my head. And Disco Worm made their own stand. So there you go. Right, let's carry on. I want to just talk to you about the other points I've got about this. As I said, it wasn't all sunshine. There were a few things here that I didn't like. So let's talk about those. The first thing is, I like on nearly all DJ gear, right, from all manufacturers, if you're playing a track and you press Shift and Q, it jumps back to the beginning of that track. I really don't understand why Denon DJ has not done that on this. It's really annoying, especially because there's no easy way of getting back to the beginning of the track when it's playing. The best way of getting back to the beginning of a track, let's say we're near the end of this track here. The best way of getting back to the beginning of that track is to put auto loop on a high, just keep turning auto loop. It goes to a high loop, 64 beats. Hold down Shift and turn auto loop and it jumps, and you probably can't see, but it's jumping to the beginning of the track very quickly, 64 beats at a time. And then it gets to the beginning. Great, I'm now near the beginning of the track. But if I turn it once too far, the screen goes black. Now I can scroll forward till I find, there it is, there's the beginning. But if I'm just scrolling from here, using that way, because there's no way of pressing Shift and Q to go to the beginning of the track, just like this, I want to go to the beginning of the track. I do it too far, it's going to take me forever to get to the beginning of the track. It keeps scrolling back. I could keep scrolling back forever, or at least a long way, about 10 minutes. You know, this is great, by the way. This is a great way to move through your track. I like that. But it should stop when you're at the beginning of the track and not allow you to keep going back forever. And B, you just need Shift Q. Come on, guys. I know you wanted to program it your way, but let's have the stuff that you expect to have on everything else going on here. There's a few quirks here that are a little bit too non-standard, and that's one of them. I want that to work the way it works on everything else. Now, another thing is, in the library, you can add stuff to a prepare window. So if I swipe that to the right, and that to the right, and that to the right, it's adding these to a prepare window. I now press prepare here, and those tracks are here, along with other ones I've prepared. There's no way of quickly saving that. This would be a really nice way of quickly making a playlist. Add to a prepare window, add to a prepare window, add to prepare, add to prepare window, save from prepare window. You can make playlists on here, but it's long-winded. That would be good as a way of saving your prepared list. It would be simple. Just have a little button at the top that says save to playlist. I think they should add that, and I missed that when I was preparing my sets. Another thing I didn't like, you can't set it to load the track to your first hot cue. This is basic stuff, guys. In here, you can set, and again, I'm not sure if it's in the utility and the preferences or the preferences, but in one of these, this one is probably in the preferences, you can set the on load, it's going to load either to the temporary cue point or to the beginning of the track. Oh, I don't know where it is. It's not important. So it'll basically load to where you've got your temporary cue set or to the beginning of the track. But it won't load to the first hot cue. Come on, everyone I know prepares their tracks by going to the beginning of the track like this. Whoops. Get out. Like this. To the beginning of the track. You see, I see how much I'm struggling to get to the beginning of the track. I just want to press Shift and Q to do it. Come on, guys, let me do it that way. Anyway, going to the beginning of the track and hitting Q. Hot cue. First cue always at the beginning, right? That's the way we do it. And so there should be an option in here to load to first hot cue. I really want to see them add that. I think that's silly that that's not there. So there's a few things there. That's my point number 4 that I just think are quirky and they need to fix in the software. I'm going to be letting Denon DJ know my thoughts on that. I'm sure I wouldn't be the first one, and hopefully they can. So you're going to get used to this stuff, but it's not ideal. And the 5th point about this, about the Prime Go, is that I realized something. I realized that standalone gear that doesn't rely on a laptop is really, really good for 2 things. 1, DJing outside, because having a laptop outside with you just feels like you're not really in control of your laptop. It's on a stand and it might blow off in the wind. You can't really see the screen very well. So there's 2 screens you've got to look at. It's got the sun beating down on it. It might get very hot. You know, laptops are good in a controlled environment. DJing at home, in a DJ booth where it's safe and you've got it somewhere safe. Outdoors, I just don't like them. And it was lovely to have my DJing detached from the laptop. I was still using the laptop for streaming from, which is my 2nd point here. But nonetheless, to be able to DJ from a unit that didn't need a laptop to work outdoors, it just felt calmer and I liked it. But the 2nd thing here is, for live streaming, it made me think, I don't really want to use a laptop for live streaming anymore. Now I've got this on battery and working without that, then I would like to be able to live stream without that as well. So I got looking into ways of doing this, and my friend Mojax, thank you Mojax for putting me onto this, kind of stumbled over the solution as far as I'm concerned. So I will be reviewing very shortly a camera called Mevo. And Mevo is a battery powered camera with its own Wi-Fi network. It can have its own Wi-Fi network and link to your phone, or you can connect it to any Wi-Fi network nearby, which will broadcast directly to the internet from the camera. So you can have one of these Mevo cameras plugged in on a tripod, pointing at you, and on your phone, which isn't in my pocket to hold up, on your phone there's a little app, and all the app does is talk to the camera, and it lets you zoom around, zoom in. You can say follow my face, and you can be moving around like this and the camera's moving with you. And so basically you can put titles onto it, so you can control your broadcast quickly from your phone. But if you don't want to do that, it will broadcast directly to the internet without the need of a computer. And I think for DJing outside, live streams up a mountain, that is brilliant. So that is on its way to us this week, and I'll be reviewing that soon in the context of using it in a full live stream setup where you've got everything you need in a bag that you can carry up a mountain with you using the Prime Go. So I'm really excited about that. As I say, next year I'm planning personally on doing a lot of live streams from a lot of very exciting places that are not here and that are not my home. And therefore I do need a rig that will let me do that. So that's my 5 thoughts on the Prime Go. It sounds great, feels pro. You can angle it up. I'll show you one more time because people seem to be absolutely loving that. You can angle it up really simply like that. So it points up towards you, and it's just a nice interface for DJing from. You're going to have to get used to a few quirks if you are used to other gear from all the other manufacturers, because they all do things better than this that I think they need to fix here. They need to have a quick way of getting back to the beginning of the track. They need to fix the loop moves so you don't accidentally go way past the track. And I want to be able to load to the first hot cue. It's a basic. There are other things, but they affect the bigger models, not this one. So I won't talk about these other quirks here. My 5th point is it's really good for outdoors and really good for live streaming, because it just helps take the computer out of the equation. And when you're outdoors, that actually matters more than I thought it would. Right, that's what I've got to say. But of course, this wouldn't be Tuesday Tips without talking about what you've got to say. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. We're going to talk about this together for the next few minutes before we get out of here. By the way, if you are loving this, as always, please do make sure you subscribe. This is where you can do it. djtips.co. Go to YouTube, click subscribe, click the bell, and we will be able to let you know when we go live, especially if you're watching the replay and you thought, oh, I wanted to be part of that. That's how you can do it. So Does the Go work with all DJ software? It doesn't work with any DJ software. The DJ software is built into it. That's the point of it, Mowbray. So it's designed to be a standalone controller. You output the music onto an SD card. By the way, I'm working out ways of not needing to have a laptop to do that as well. I'll be reporting back on all this stuff. And then it'll just work from there. I just want to check something very quickly. Yeah, we're good. The microphone warning is saying battery getting low, but we've got enough time for this. How does this match up to the Numark NV and laptop, which is a similar size? It's much smaller than the Numark NV and laptop. Does the Go work? What happens if the battery runs out and you're still in the middle of a gig? You get about 4 or 5 hours, I think, from memory. So make sure you're not playing a gig that's longer than that, and make sure you charge it beforehand. Or, it has got a mains cable. You can plug it into the wall as well. Can you mount hard drives? No, but you can put an SD card in the front or a USB in the back. You can get 512 gig SD cards nowadays. So that's what I would do, put an SD card in there. The laptop stand's a great idea. The screen was a big no sale point for me. Glad about that. The Denon Prime Go, it's the Swiss Army knife of portability. Much more powerful than most controllers. Indeed it is. How do you set it up for live streaming? I used it with the Evermix Mixbox interface into the computer, giving me the audio. And we use webcams. They're a bit like GoPros. Webcams into the computer as well. And I use broadcast software. You could use OBS or whatever from the computer. But as I was saying, I want to do this without a computer at all, which I'm going to be working with. My concern is the jog wheels, among other things, says Mike. I actually quite like the jog wheels. I had no problem at all with them. Do you think they're going to make a Mark II? Not anytime soon, I don't think. Morris says, I love my Prime Go. Used it at the beach and in my camper van. So versatile. Do you remember this as a new entry-level device? As an entry-level device, sorry, let's start again. Do you recommend this as an entry-level device for new DJs? I don't recommend it as an entry-level device unless you know what you're doing, purely because it's expensive. I always recommend, if you're going to be starting out in DJing, get something nice and cheap. Well, they're not cheap, but a few hundred rather than 1,000 like this. This is such an amazing controller for your money. So amazing. The jog wheels are absolutely brilliant. It's really well built. The Numark Mixtrack Pro FX, or FX Pro, I forget which way around you pronounce it, is a wonderful controller, to give you an example. The Pioneer DDJ 400 is a wonderful controller. Get something like that, because when you upgrade to better gear, you can always keep your other controller as a backup device. So for beginners, go for something a little bit more affordable, I would say. So I just found out you can make crates and playlists on the Go, then translate them, then transfer them later to Engine. Yes, you can easily make crates and playlists. By the way, I'd love to know how Engine Prime users use their crates, because I find them pretty useless. I just use playlists. But anyway, I'd love to know how you use crates. Alan says, I'm loving the new DJ Hype course. Thank you for that. If you're interested in the Hype course, by the way, I'll give you the URL for that in a minute. It's closing soon, so if you wanted that, you're going to need to act soon. Anyway, Alan says, what's the battery like on the Prime Go? As I say, it lasts for several hours, so you'll be good. If you're interested in the DJ Hype course, the James Hype course, djtips.co/hype is your link. As I say, that's closing very soon. Kelly Kell says, that mix was dope on Sunday, Phil. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad so many of you are saying that you enjoyed it. Steve, this Sunday, by the way, you joined Digital DJ Tips this Sunday at 5 p.m. London, 12 p.m. Eastern. Steve will be doing a house set on a scratch mixer using the new DJ MS11, so that's pretty cool. Morris got 4 hours 17 from it, so there you go, I was right, 4 or 5 hours. I wonder if Pioneer will bring out their version of the Prime Go. I don't know. They probably will soon. The technology is now there. It's now in the CDJ 3000s. How is the heating displacement? No idea. Didn't notice. Never noticed, so I can't explain. I guess it's okay. What about the pads? The pads are great. Loved them. You actually have 8 pads on it, even though it looks like you only have 4 per side, because you can press this bank button and then the bank button flashes and then you get 4 more. So you have 8 pads there, not just the 4 that you start with, just to make that clear. How does the Prime Go compare to laptops and controllers? Laptops and controllers have got more features, but the Prime Go is very powerful. And I certainly didn't miss anything from a laptop. The only thing you might miss is a sampler. There's no sampler on there. So if you're somebody who uses a sampler, then you'll miss that. But no, I don't think you miss anything. David says, Denon made a new untapped sector with the Prime Go called portability. Absolutely brilliant. So Neil says, you posted the bag review just 2 hours ago. I'll take a look at that after the live. Yeah, we did indeed. I like to divide and conquer, if you like. Well, that's not the word I'm looking for. I like to do all things at once, right? So if I'm going to review a bag and a piece of gear, I will put them together and try and get two birds with one stone. I think that's what I was thinking of. Public Wi-Fi, no, I don't think you can connect it to Wi-Fi where you need to put a username and password in. Good point, Tino. I don't think that's possible. Mark's tried to hide it in his bag loads of times. It's hit and miss when you get to the check-in desk, so there we go. Can you add a webcam to the device and live stream directly from the unit without the use of a laptop? No, you can't. I wish they would add that, actually. That would be cool, but no, you can't do that. Harvey says that's a lot of effort to get back to the beginning of the track and too much room for error. Another way you can get back to the beginning of the track, by the way, let me just show you, is so when the track's playing, you can't do this, but you can pause the track and then you can move your hand on the waveform to get to the beginning. But you know, Shift Q, simple, Shift Q. That's what they've got to add. They have to add that. I honestly don't understand why they haven't. So I will keep pestering them on the behalf of myself and anyone else who thinks the same way. But I didn't find it a massive. Virgil says massive problem. So it doesn't have beat jump? Yeah, it does have beat jump. That's what I was showing you. I was using beat jump to get back to the beginning of the track. You can just hit hot Q at the start of the track and it'll go back. Yeah, but then you've got to remember to put hot Q at the start of the track. So I just think they should fix it. So hopefully Denon introduces this in a future update. Will you? So let's move on here. Keith says, will you have a black friend sell your courses like the DJ Scratch course? We just sell the courses with either the tutor, with usually the tutor who made the course. So if we make a course with someone of color, then of course we'll get them to sell the course, Keith. It's just the way it's turned out so far. But thanks for that. Mixmaster G, the preparation list is not even available in the Engine Prime. But one of the tools in the Denon conversion utility will create a record box playlist out of the prep list. So thank you for that. Always pushing your software there, Mixmaster G, and quite rightfully. Thank you for that. A lot of you are saying, just use the hot cue. Yes, I don't want to. I want to have a shortcut to get to the beginning of the track. You know, the bigger units have got a track search button. That hasn't got it. I miss the prepare list thing on my Prime 4, says Beatrice. Can you just stop the track and drag your finger to the beginning of it? Yes, you can, Gemini. That's what I was showing you there. You can't sort music playlists on it if it's a streaming service, as Human Cells. Yeah, you know, streaming is new to these devices. Hopefully that kind of thing will be coming soon. Lots of you asking about the name of the laptop stand. I'm sorry, I should have researched that to tell you beforehand, but I didn't. So hey, I'm not perfect, people. Wi-Fi camera sounds great, says Beatblock. Says, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. Do like a gadget. Suggestions as to battery speakers. So there's loads of good battery speakers out there. The one I use, the really portable one I use, which I will show you, which I can thoroughly recommend, is this one here. Just going to get it out of the bag. It's a little speaker called a Mini Rig. This is you can get this online. It's a tiny little speaker. It's a lot louder than it looks. It's metal. They last a lifetime. They've got a really long battery life. It's Bluetooth. You can also plug wires in, of course, which is important. And it comes in that really useful little case. I love this company. I love these speakers. That goes surprisingly loud, these little things. So if you want to pair that up with something like this, it would work. You know, for me, speakers are really important. I will always try and find loud speakers wherever I'm DJing, but I carry that around as a backup just in case. What's the camera called again? It's called a Mevo, M-E-V-O, Tiffany. Why no slip mode? It can do slip, so why no button? Because it's just got fewer buttons than the bigger ones, so that'll be why. Can you send me some tips on the Prime Go as far as mixing and uploading music on SD card? I can't send you individually, as much as I'd love to, Douglas, but do keep an eye on the website because we'll be carrying more content on this stuff. I do also have a full video where I talk through absolutely everything about the Prime Go, and I mean everything about it. So if you are interested in learning about that, head over to our YouTube channel and just look for Prime Go, and you will find a hour and 20-minute video, I think, I uploaded recently, all about that. James says, 173 watching, only 33 likes. Come on all. Support the channel. Right, come on everyone, support the channel. Hit that, forget like, hit share. Please hit share. Share is the one that's important to us. That's what allows us to do this. When we have our meetings every quarter and we say, should we carry on with these live streams? We're looking at how much they've been shared, because helping us to get our message in front of new people keeps the lights on at Digital DJ Tips. And without that, they're going to go off. So hit share, please. Seriously, it really helps us if you enjoy these. You know, we do these for free every week in the understanding that if you enjoy it, you'll hit share for us. But thank you, James. Nice to have you on our side. Jack says, I think Prime Go needs to be on my Christmas list. I've always liked the look of this, says Jason. I never realized how small it was. Lots of people asking about the link to the laptop stand. I'll write it down and I will put the link in afterwards. A few of you are saying shift and play will get you to the beginning of the track. Well, you know, I love to be proved stupid, so I will give that a go. In fact, because I love to be proved wrong on live television, as it were, let's have a go. Let's press shift and play. No, it takes you back to the cue point. So as long as the cue point is set to the beginning of the track, it will work, but it doesn't work as a rule. But thank you for that. Always have the power brick as a standby, says Salvation Drum and Bass. You can connect external hard drives. I guess you probably can using the USB socket. I'm not sure about that, but all the other units, you can actually install a hard drive. But look, SD cards carry so much now that you can put everything on an SD card. Do you have to analyze your tracks ahead of time, or does Engine OS do this? You can plug in tracks on Analyze and it will analyze them on the spot for you, but it's always best to do it ahead of time. Kevin says you can use OBS on a phone too. Yes, you could have a phone. You use your phone as a camera and be broadcasting from OBS there, and just plug your... These things here are actually made to plug into phones, these little Mixbox interfaces. So you could plug in that way and just go live from your phone. That's true. Can you connect turntables? No, it's got one auxiliary input. And that's it for that. You have to go up to the Prime 4 to start connecting turntables. Richard says, I love mine. I'm constantly switching between it and my SC6000s. Streaming from Beatport works perfect. So there we go. Is it class compliant? No idea, Ben. I honestly don't know the answer to that. So my team are just doing the job of reminding you that the James Hype Mixing Skills course is closing soon. So if you are interested in the James Hype course, then you do have to act now. It's done really, really well. People really love James and the way he DJs. And you can find out more about it at djtips.co/hype. So thank you, team, for pushing that. One or two more then. AB or Abby is loving the James Hype thing too, saying he's really creative with his spin back tricks and looping. Thanks for introducing James to us. I'm glad you're enjoying him. He's certainly going to be one of the biggest DJs in the next 5 years in the world, if he isn't already, for sure. So Quan uses crates to sync the Serato library to mirror Serato. Oh, I like it. Right, okay, yeah, there's one use of crates. I like that, makes sense. One or two more then. Tim says, what have I missed? Great balcony beats on Sunday, Phil. Oh, thank you, Tim. You have missed a lot, so go watch the replay. It'll be available in just 2 or 3 minutes when I finish this live. So can I ask how you have a website without a country code, Phil? You mean this website here? I just bought it, basically. You can go and buy .co if you want. Yeah, just go and buy it. We just use it for all our short codes, as you can probably tell. So Phil, please do a course which is a totally open format and sorry about that, and teaches you to jump between BPM and genre, like the legend that was DJ AM RIP. Well, look, our mixing courses, as in our mixing power skills, our mixing mastery, and our house mixing mastery courses certainly do that. But I can tell you, because we have signed a contract today, or certainly agreed one, with someone who is open format through to their heart. And the course coming out next year on open format DJing with all the tricks under the sun for moving between BPMs and genres, much in the style of AM, is going to blow your mind. I'm very, very, very excited about it, just like I was very excited about the James Hype course that we've now brought to you. It's coming next year. All I can tell you is it'll be in the first half of the year. And if you want to know about mixing between genres and BPMs, you're going to love it. We have got an absolute legend in this game at doing that stuff to make that course with. You've heard it first here, folks, but I can't tell you any more right now. So look forward to that one. But as I say, the other ones do cover this stuff as well. I love all the stuff that you guys have been dropping about the Prime Go recently, so sips and sounds. I bought mine about 10 days ago. This has been super helpful. You're very welcome. All right then, let's just have one or two more. Soundsmith says too many compromises for anything other than portable use. Yep, you know, there's no one denying that there's compromises on something that big, but also there's a lot of people just loving it for what it is. But totally, I get that. Abby has shared the laptop stand on Amazon India, which is good enough for me. If you you just basically search laptop stand and it's come up, so that's cool. They're not hard to find, but I will search afterwards and tell you. In fact, here we go. Michael's found the actual name of it. You guys are the best, you know that. It's called a Rain Bean Adjustable Aluminium or Aluminum, as you say over there stateside, computer stand. So I'll leave that on the screen for a couple of seconds for you. I'll put it back up again if you didn't catch it, from Michael. Rain Bean, just search Rain Bean computer stand and you will find it. And he says it costs $20. Yeah, I knew it was pretty cheap. So there we go. Keith says, I'll be your black friend, Phil. Oh, thank you, Keith. You're already our friend. So no need to do anything more. You're in. EMCG says, hey, Phil, I'm thinking of buying a DDJ SR off my friend. Is it still a good controller? Oh, you slipped a question in that wasn't about today's topic. Remember, Thursday is the day for these questions. But seeing you've asked, yes, it's a good controller. I'm just scanning for one or two more. As I said, there's lots of names for that laptop stand. Another one is called the Yicola laptop stand. So thank you, everyone, reporting that. Right, I think we are good to... Oh, Michael says shift and play works when the track is paused. It starts the track from the start. Let's go and have another look. I love learning this stuff from you guys and girls. I really do. So we're playing the track. We haven't got a cue point at the start. I pause and then I press shift and play. No, it still goes back to the cue point. It still goes back to where your temporary cue is set, which I don't want. That's not the behavior I want. And I'm quite insistent about that. Lots of you saying thank you for the links to the laptop stand. Steve Notlob says, I don't remember signing a contract. Steve, it's good that you're playing the game with us and not admitting to it. I like your style. All right then. And finally, did Phil go over the effects? Is there a replay for this stream? No, I didn't go over the effects because we're talking about 5 things I love about it. But if you want to see the effects, just go to our YouTube channel and search Prime Go. And there, search Prime Go video manual. And I've done a 1 hour, 15-minute talk through of everything, and I mean literally everything about this. So if you want me to talk you through every single feature, everything in the menus, and these menus are absolutely packed full of stuff, all this stuff, I can talk you through it all. Like I say, it's an hour 15 video. Today was really just a long-term review to give you a sense of what I actually think about it, having used it for many months and actually used it in a professional environment. Right, we're done. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. It's a pleasure to bring this stuff for you. Please do hit that share button if you've enjoyed this today. That's all I'm asking you to do if you've found value here. If you are interested in the James Hype DJ course, it's closing in just a couple of days, so you have to get on this right now. That is your link, djtips.co/hype. I am going to get out of here now. I'll be back later on for our Digital DJ Lab members for your inside track. That's in 2 hours from now. And I will be back tomorrow for all our students with Steve for Student Live inside your Student Hub Facebook group, again at the same time, 4 p.m. London, 11 a.m. Eastern. And on Thursday, I'm back for live Q&A, again at the same time. So if you've got questions about anything that isn't related to any particular topic, come back then. And then, as I said earlier, on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. London, midday Eastern, Steve Canuetto is here doing a house mix on a scratch controller, and he's using the new Pioneer DJM S11, which is going to be really fun because no one's done that before. And we've also got or rather, he's not done that before. We've also got a really, really good video about that S11 coming out in the next few days, where Steve talks you through all the new features of it, but he does it in the shape of a DJ mix with all the features as he's using them pointed out. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So watch out for that. Right, get good, stay safe, people. Make the moments. I'll see you again very soon. Till next time, bye-bye.